Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, December 19th, 2025. I am Bishop Durrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective, remembering Asian gender-bending queer pop star Leslie. Leslie Cheung Kwok-wing, a 1970s pop star from Hong Kong, pioneered queer visibility long before it was part of mainstream pop culture. As Hong Kong navigated its uncertain future, Cheung quietly defied conventions of masculinity, becoming the city's brightest star and a cultural icon. A cultural contradiction, elegant, emotional, and unrestrained. Unlike male contemporaries, Cheung leaned into vulnerability in his Cantopop music, singing about heartbreak with raw intimacy. On stage, he embraced silk, eyeliner, and theatrical movements, embodying freedom rather than just femininity. Though he never explicitly labeled himself a queer icon, he had relationships with both men and women. He presented as non-binary, and his art embraced a queer aesthetic. He was beloved by millions, earning the nickname Gor Gor, Big Brother, symbolizing a blend of strength and tenderness. Cheung's acting career mirrored his musical defiance. His performance in Farewell My Concubine, 1993, where he played a Peking Opera performer trained as a woman, was a haunting exploration of gender and desire that cemented his legacy. In the mid-1990s, he openly appeared with his boyfriend, Daffy Tong. In a quiet, revolutionary act in 1997, he dedicated a love song to Tong during a sold-out concert. His 1996 album Red and subsequent stage shows featuring Jean Paul Gaultier's gowns and kissing male dancers further blurred gender lines, serving as oxygen for queer fans across Asia despite conservative backlash. Cheung stated, quote, "Art must come from honesty," end quote, and lived by that principle until his death by suicide in 2003, following a struggle with depression. 2 decades later, his influence endures, with younger artists citing him as proof that queerness and artistry are inseparable. He showed that in a world not ready for him, to be seen was the most radical act of survival. First of all, wasn't he beautiful? So there's that. And wasn't he courageous?
Yeah.
I think today, Leslie would have wanted me to say, aren't they courageous? I don't know, I'm projecting. But Leslie was beautiful, Leslie was brave, and apparently extremely talented, and that this was going on in not the most open, not the most progressive culture, and really 30 years ago, the 90s, so that he was way ahead of his time, and that he's celebrating his boyfriend. He's bisexual, but apparently when he settled down, the love of his life, and a lot of times that goes the other way, like when you're bisexual, the same gender stuff is your fun phase, and then you settle down with the what's sort of acceptable, the path of least resistance. Not necessarily intentionally, it just seems to happen that way a lot. But that this went the other way. He was attracted to men and women, but he fell in love with a man, the one that could get him in the most social harm or whatever. So I just think that's a pretty powerful statement of, love is love. It happens the way it happens. And that he was, now I also am sad that he was struggling with depression. I wonder if, under their medical system at that time, if he would have had access to treatment, or if treatment for this kinds of thing was so stigmatized, it was hard to get people to access it, or if there's just some extreme burden being the one brave enough, the one, to be, I didn't call myself an icon, but I've become an icon. What a burden that must be, to be the brave one all the time, to be the out one all the time, to be the one representing all the people who can't be, can't come out or whatever. That I wonder if it was the burden of that led to his just being completely overwhelmed, or if it was chemical and he didn't have access to the meds, or what. But it does seem that creative people often also have other demons. And I wonder if it's their creative genius that sort of leads to that, or if it's their problems that make the creativity necessary for survival. I don't know which way it is. But here's one more story of someone who's clearly very brilliant, very brave, and taken from us way too soon.
This is a beautiful and sad story. I so appreciate his life and talent and living his life authentically, and at the same time the struggles that he must have had to end his life. It's, again, beautiful and sad.
I think the other piece of it is the legacy that he leaves behind also. I mean, we're doing this like 30-something years after the fact, and it's almost like a resurgence of what he meant to his culture. And now people can go back at his legacy and find themselves in that culture. And hopefully that, he would become that living icon for them, that they can now do what they think can be done, and even push it even further.
People like him are more common now because people like him did what they did when they did it.
Exactly.
I'm interested in looking at the time frame of when he became popular and where. He became popular in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is one of those interesting places back in the 70s through the late 90s.
Probably the most Western Asian
culture,
Yeah.
Asian culture, and he was able to thrive in that arena under that umbrella. And it's interesting that 1997 China fully took over Hong Kong, and just a short time later, 6 years later, I don't know the kind of pressure that he must have been under his whole life, but those last 6 years, I can only imagine that they were the worst of times for him. He survived as long as he could, and his legacy continues to this day.
That's true. It's not just cultural, it's political at that point, because I mean, I'm assuming it's a very different experience to be British Hong Kong to being People's Republic of China Hong Kong. And I understand that Hong Kong has gotten a lot of latitude compared to the rest of China. That it's but also I'm sure that they didn't just get free, a free pass to do whatever. So I wonder, and even if they did, there's the unknown. And that alone can be so burdensome. So it was a tough time. Especially for a queer kid who was so public and so out, but he did it anyway. And now more people can do it with a little less fear, because people like him were so brave and so out there. So we bless his memory.
Amen.
And that's today with the Queer God Squad. Next, let's travel together with the Sunshine Cathedral community on a journey unlike any other. Dubai today is a fascinating blend of heritage and hypermodern openness. And for LGBTQ travelers, moving as a confident, joyful group, it offers a uniquely powerful experience. While solo queer travel in the region can feel intimidating, arriving in community shifts everything. Suddenly, the city's art districts, desert retreats, and global food scene become spaces of shared wonder rather than caution. Al Serkal Avenue's exhibitions, rooftop fusion, restaurants, and coastal night walks along La Mer are not only stunning, but deeply content-worthy. Purposeful, respectful, queer group travel, claiming space, celebrating identity, and seeing the world without fear because we're seeing it together. You can experience all of this and more on Sunshine Cathedral Arabian Nights Cruise Tour from just $1,299. Sunshine Cathedral has blazed travel trials across the world. Italy and communion in the Vatican catacombs. Egypt and the Great Pyramid. Turkey and Ephesus. Athens and Greek ancient civilizations, the beauty of Alpine Europe and Oktoberfest. But on February 22nd, 2027, the most important and history-making experience ever is coming. Sunshine Cathedral is going to live our mission with Arabian Nights, a cruise tour that explores the Gulf of Arabia. The 14-day trip will enjoy 3 nights in the world's most amazing city of the 21st century, Dubai. You enjoy a 7-night cruise on the Gulf of Arabia on the beautiful Celestial Discovery. Highlights including the Wildlife National Park for a safari at Sirbani Yas Island. Explore the mystery of Doha in Qatar. Experience the alpine-like mountains of Ras Al Khaimah in the UAE. Sail the fjords of Kasab, Oman. Then enjoy 2 nights in the United Arab Emirates' capital city of Abu Dhabi. The Bedouins, the deserts, the tallest buildings and most modern architecture in the world await. You can fly on the world's best airline nonstop from Miami to Dubai. Fly Emirates Air. Hosted by Sunshine Cathedral's Bishop Darrell Watkins and Bishop Robert Griffin, this amazing adventure is 14 days from just $1,299, and that includes all government taxes and fees. The cruise line confirms you for just $1. You heard that right. Make your reservations for just $1. And it's affordable for all with an interest-free payment plan of just $99 a month. Join Sunshine Cathedral for a world's first. The magic of the Arabian Nights awaits you.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our performing arts series in January 2026.
Award-winning and Billboard charting artist Flamy Grant is a shame-slaying, hip-swaying, singing, songwriting drag queen from Western North Carolina. Both a powerhouse vocalist and an intrepid songwriter, Flamy blends the evocative art of drag with her iconic mix of country, gospel, folk, and roots music.
Flamy is the first drag performer to appear on Christian music charts, reaching #1 on iTunes.
It's no accident that Flamy's drag name is an homage to Amy Grant, the undisputed queen of Christian music and 90s chart-topping pop artist. Much of Flamy's music centers on the queer spiritual journey, telling stories of resilience and recovery from religious trauma in a world where LGBTQ+ people are frequently ignored by, harmed in, or ejected from religious spaces. She's here on January 9th, and tickets can be secured at sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Also in January, we will enjoy the antics of actor, singer, comic, drag artist Varla Jean on January 24th. Then, on January 30th, Miss Richfield 1981 will bring her offbeat brand of hilarity to South Florida. Both Varla Jean and Miss Richfield are big draws and crowd favorites here in South Florida. And finally, in January, on January 31st, the beautiful voice and charming style of Ann Steele is back. Lesbians love her, gay men adore her, and all music lovers recognize her as an engaging musical performer. Information about these performances and performers, as well tickets to their shows, can be found at sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
And remember the Cathedral Pub. The Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts offers the Cathedral Pub experience. The Cathedral Pub offers performance attendees an inviting space to gather and connect with friends prior to the show, or a place to be while waiting for the doors to open. Guests may enjoy live music, beverages, and appetizers in a comfortable meet-and-greet environment while they await the start of their performance. On show nights, the Cathedral Pub opens 1 hour before each performance and closes 15 minutes before it starts. Entry to the Cathedral Pub requires a separate purchase from your seating ticket, and that link can be found on the seat selection page. Be sure to purchase before checking out. There is a limited number of people who can get pub passes, so don't delay.
And join us if you can for Christmas Eve services at Sunshine Cathedral, December 24th at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we are all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.